Welcome to English Smarties, the place where you practice your English with captivating topics. Have you ever tried a dish from another culture and loved it? Maybe you've been fascinated by a traditional dance or a piece of clothing. Experiencing other cultures is exciting, but it also comes with responsibility. When does borrowing from another culture become stealing? How can we appreciate the beauty of other cultures without disrespecting them? This is the difference between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation. Cultural exchange happens all the time. It's how we learn and grow as a global community. But we need to be mindful of the line between appreciation and appropriation. One is about respect and understanding. The other is about taking without permission and often causing harm. Cultural appreciation is about approaching another culture with genuine curiosity and respect. It's about wanting to learn and experience something different from your own background. Imagine attending a traditional ceremony in another country, not as a tourist, but as a respectful observer. You're there to learn, to listen, and to broaden your understanding of the world. Appreciation can also be about supporting artists and creators from other cultures. Buying authentic crafts, attending cultural events, and amplifying the voices of artists from marginalized communities are all ways to show appreciation. The key is to do so with respect and a willingness to learn. Cultural appropriation, on the other hand, is about taking elements from another culture without understanding or respecting their significance. It's about using those elements for your own gain, often in a way that's insensitive or even offensive. Think about fashion brands copying traditional designs from indigenous communities without giving credit or compensation, or musicians using sacred chants as catchy samples in pop songs. Appropriation often happens when people with more power borrow from cultures that have been historically marginalized or oppressed. This power imbalance is what makes appropriation so harmful. It's about taking something that isn't yours to take, without acknowledging the history and struggle behind it. Section 4. The harm in appropriation. Cultural appropriation can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and reinforce power imbalances. When a dominant culture takes elements from a marginalized culture without understanding their context, it can lead to misunderstandings and even prejudice. Imagine a Halloween costume that mocks a sacred religious figure from another culture. What might seem like harmless fun to one person can be deeply offensive and hurtful to another. Appropriation can also have economic consequences. When large corporations profit from cultural elements that belong to marginalized communities, it's a form of exploitation. It's taking advantage of someone else's culture for financial gain without giving back or acknowledging the source. Section 5. Appreciating cultures respectfully. So how can we appreciate other cultures respectfully? It starts with education. Learn about the history, traditions, and values of the culture you're interested in. Listen to the voices of people from that culture. Ask questions, be open to different perspectives, and be willing to acknowledge your own biases. If you're unsure about whether something is culturally appropriate, ask for permission. Reach out to people from that culture and get their input. Would they be comfortable with you wearing that piece of clothing or using that word? Respect their answer, even if it's not what you want to hear. Section 6. Exchange versus exploitation. Cultural exchange is a beautiful thing. It's about sharing ideas, traditions, and experiences in a way that's mutually beneficial and respectful. Think about a collaboration between artists from different cultures, where everyone's voice is heard and valued. Or a cultural festival where people from all backgrounds come together to celebrate their differences. Exploitation, on the other hand, is about taking without giving back. It's about profiting from another culture without respecting its origins or its people. It's about using someone else's culture as a trend or a costume without acknowledging the deeper meaning behind it. Section 7. What do you think? Cultural appropriation and appreciation are complex issues with no easy answers. It's an ongoing conversation that requires us to be thoughtful, respectful, and willing to learn from each other. Next time you encounter a different culture, ask yourself, am I appreciating this respectfully, or am I appropriating it? Your answer could make a difference. What are your thoughts on cultural appropriation versus appreciation? Share your perspectives and experiences. Let's continue the conversation. If you found this video helpful, be sure to come back for more. And remember, stay curious.